Let us try to understand the electric mixer. You can see a beautiful picture of electric mixer. You can see the nicely made chutney or some mixer masala, some juice. These all are the uses of electric mixer. As you all know that electric mixer is the one of the most famous or the popular appliance or domestic appliance in any house. Okay, especially ladies likes it very much. Ladies likes it very much. Let's try to understand more about it. Electric mixer. The principle on it works. The electric food mixer consists of essentially of a base to which speed regulated electric motor is fitted and a large bowl in which the food to be processed is placed. While operating the mixer, the food is beaten or mixed by revolving blades kept in bowl which is attached to the motor shaft. Okay, that's the principle on which the electric mixer works. Let's go ahead. You can see a diagram of electric mixer drawn using the MS Paint. If you see from the top, it is polycarbonate dome stopper. Then we have a dome, okay, which has some clips to fix. A rubber ring, okay, just to avoid the any masalas or any liquid or any paste comes out from this. It helps in locking also. Then we have stainless steel jar, okay. Of course, there's a rib here, locking rib here. Then metal shaft, okay, metal jar shaft you can see, and there's some ventilation provided. And this is the basic unit we are talking about. In this basic unit, you'll find a universal motor, which is a speed regulated by means of some regulator, and of course a power supply, okay, cord. And there's one more additional, there's a overload production which will be below this. These are the few of the things which supposed to be electric mixer. Nowadays, lots of changes have taken place in the electric mixer. Let's try to understand in details. Construction. The electric mixer consists of a basic unit that consists universal motor housing. Okay. Then motor shaft and coupling. The motor shaft and coupling has to be connected to uh, the jars which you connect on the top. Indeed, which will complete the work of mixing. Then we have switch knob or load indicator, rotary speed control. Normally it is 1, 2, 3, and a pulse action. Power supply cord, interlock lever. We'll see what are those in details. L-shaped slot for adapter socket. Most of the electric mixer will have this. Once you done your mixing part, then you can take your power cord and put into the adapter socket. Then high speed coupler, which is required because mixer is moving very high speed. We'll see what are those. Locking ribs, interlock plunger, stainless steel jar, then plastic rim, sealing rubber ring, locks are all the parts of your electric mixer. Above there will be all-load thermal cutout, dry grinding blades, and also wet grinding blade, mincer, grater blade, wiper blade, spatula, which is used to lose or tight the, or even to remove and rotate different blades too. Okay. Then rubber ring, different size jars, and transparent cover to the mixer material. These are the few parts of your electric mixer. And you can see in the picture, left hand side we have seen the mixer with a jar, okay, and handle, locking ribs, whatever we just spoke few minutes before, it will be there. Okay, you can see the dome with all. This is the clips, handle, and locking ribs, everything inside. In here the mixer takes place, and this is the base which will be connected to a motor shaft. You can see also here, those are the blades. Okay, different blades used for different. This is a wiper, cutting blade, grinding, wet grinding, all this. Okay. At the same time, you see here, here right hand side, these are two. These are the high speed coupler. Okay. These get connected to the motor shaft. These both are the same. Okay. These are either side. One side this will get connected to motor shaft, and other one, this one you can see is get connected to the your jar, electric jar. Okay. This is how normally the mixing takes place. Okay, in the electric mixer. Let's go ahead. You see, since we have said that the universal motor use, let's try to understand in short the universal motor. You can see in the first picture there are two pole winding here. These are the pole 1, and this other is a pole winding here. This is the core, okay, and this you can see in turn this is the armature, okay, armature winding or rotor, which has commutator here, and this place is for the carbon brushes. This is for the carbon brushes, and this is what is connected to the your upper part of jar motor shaft. Okay, different mixer will have different way of arrangement of carbon brushes, but more or less the same things remain the same. Let's see here. You can see here similarly, this is another universal motor. We have connected just a fan to show here. Okay, Otherwise you can see inside this is the commutator or the rotor or the armature, and this is the core, and this are your armature winding. Mixer can be available in the can have a two field windings like we have seen here, one and the other one two, and they always comes in pair, either 2, 4, 6. So higher number of windings will give the higher speeds. Okay. Normally two windings are field windings are available. If four is available, then mixer can do a bigger job. Okay, but always come in pairs, 2, 4, 6, because the inertial motor. You can see here another diagram of two fields, again one and two fields. This is the core and this is armature. You can see this is armature. This is the what you call as commutator, and we are trying to show this is the carbon brushes. Okay, connected to the, and you can see here this is which will be connected to motor shaft. This part will get connected to the your jar with the help of high speed couplers, and that is how your mixing will take place. Speed control by means of tapping. Okay, for speed control method, normally the mixer has three distinct speeds which can be selected by moving rotary switch or by push button with a set. Okay, most of mixer uses tap field coil for the speed control as shown in the diagram. Okay, mostly they are tap field, whatever cases may be. You can see here. Okay, if you see in the diagram, okay, you can see one field winding here, another fielding winding here, and this is your armature. If you see here, and of course we give a AC or DC supply here with some capacitor to avoid ratio interference. If you see here, there are tappings here, 1, 2 and 3 tappings. These tappings will tell you the speed. When you go and change in the tap pick, 1, 2, 3 tappings, the speed changes. That's why we have 3 speed, 1 speed here, second speed here, third speed here. Okay, so your speed will decided by the joining the different tappings by means of rotary switch or by means of tap switch. Okay, let's go ahead. Another method is the adjustable brush. Just now which we have done, okay, it was your by means of tapping by changing the field coil tappings. But here we are not going to do that, but here we do something called as adjustable brush method. Okay, here you see the brush. Okay, the brush type, that is the brush. In this method, field is kept constant. Okay, we don't have tappings. Where the brush position of armature is changed externally, so we change the brush, okay, to and fro, or the brush method change to fro, so that accordingly the speed goes on decreasing. This causes variation torque, and therefore speed of variation shown in the figure 2. We'll show you the figure immediately to you. At the same time, let's try to understand the capacitor. The three capacitors C1 C2 are provided to avoid ratio interference. Normally those three speeds are higher, no? Speed 1, speed 2, speed, the bigger difference in higher. So this can be avoided by means of ratio interference by means of this capacitors. The adjustable brush control method will create more mechanical problem due to sparking on commutator. Okay, because when you do this, because you are going to change the brush position, that can generate a sparking, right, on commutator. So this method is not generally shown in the modern industry. Now you don't find any mixture because that spark will create a problem. The ladies may get scared of it, or anyone can get scared of it. Not to happen this, normally this method is not much used in modern mixer. You can see, okay, you can give AC or DC supply. Then we have 3 capacitor to avoid ratio interference. Then we have a field coil, because I told to you, as I already informed to you, there should be always a pair of field coils, 1 and 2, right? Likewise, we have the armature here. But you see here that we have shown different position of your carbon brushes. Okay, accordingly the speed can be changed or decreased. Okay, this is just to show that the different position of carbon brushes which can be changed manually according to the speed changes. Okay, only problem is that the spark is generated on the armature or the commutator. So we try to avoid this in modern mixtures. Characteristics. Since the inertial motor is utilized for this operation, its characteristics similar to that of DC series motor. The no load speed is higher, but enough to damage the motor, so we have to take care of it. When the load speed decreases and continues to decrease as load increases. Okay, therefore when load is excessive, motor may become hot. Therefore at the base of mixture, overload protection is provided, which actuates when load is increased beyond the limit and stop the mixer operation, just to save your motor, other motor get damaged. Since it is inertial motor, it can work on AC as well as DC supply. Some DC voltage should be applied, and so same DC voltage should be applied, and for AC supply the frequency should not be more than 60 Hz. In India we have 50 Hz, so no issue. If anywhere somehow generator frequency of AC up to 60 is allowed, beyond 60 it is not allowed. Note, the universal motor in electric appliance preferred, most of times preferred. The first of reason, it works on both AC as well as DC supply, which makes it very portable. Second, also it works on various loads, right? Just above the no load to the maximum load. If you see, you can use any loads in between. You can have just a small quantity of masala, or little more quantity of masala, or little more also. Like that, you can work on various loads. Precautions need to be taken very strictly. Do not run the machine unless jar is in a perfect position. Otherwise, the masalas or whatever you are making the mixing inside will come out of here and may split on your face, or something unwanted incident can happen. Do not run the motor for more than 2 minutes. Okay, do not run the motor for more than 2 minutes. Okay, the boiling liquid must be avoided to put in the liquidizer. Please try to avoid the boiling liquid, which is very dangerous. Do not run mixer without any load. That's called no load, because no load means it will damage the motor. When motor is in position, do not remove grinder. Always remember this. Wait till it gets stopped, then you remove. Next, while fixing and removing the blade, care must be taken, and blades are very sharp. Hold the jar firmly while machine is on. Of course, nowadays we have very locking system. Otherwise, it is very important that compulsory that you should hold the jar firmly. Okay. Otherwise, you know what can happen, right? Do not load the mixture heavily. Generally, 2/3 of jar should be filled for mixing. You have to understand, divide the jar into 3 parts. Assume that divided into 3 parts, and 2 parts you have to fill the whatever mixing you want to do, whatever masala, chutneys, whatever you want to do mixing. 1 part should remain empty, because that is required for motion of your mixie inside. In the case of all loading of motor, remove the material from the jar and then press the protector pin provided at the bottom base. So many times you feel that okay, little masala, let's put everything, but it becomes overload. Overload means it is already above the 2/3 of jar, so you have to remove 1/3 of it, some part of it, and then make it 2/3 of the jar, and then do it by pressing the protected pin, and the mixer will start working.